Hi, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Plus Mochi. I'm Christy.
And I'm Maddie.
We're your favorite sisters-in-law. Each week, we introduce you and each other to new things we love and bond over the internet. This week, we actually have a guest. You've heard us talk about him in very many episodes. He's my husband, and he's also Maddie's brother. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here with you guys in a chat. It's going to be fun.
Have you ever explored the Am I the A-hole section of Reddit?
I have never explored the Am I the A-hole section.
Are you repeating what I'm saying?
I don't know, but I've never explored that A-hole, so I'm interested.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, you're so extra.
You're doing a lot right now. Okay, so Justin, you're not familiar with our show, but we typically start with a little bit of an update, kind of update each other on the week that has passed. So I guess I can start this week.
Yeah, Christy, how was your week?
Thank you. Let me just go. This week I was struggling a little bit with my fitness journey. As you guys know, I had a cheat day / cheat weekend / cheat week. The eating was fine. It was the fitness that was kind of struggling. So if you guys follow us on Instagram, you would have seen that I posted a story with like all of my favorite workouts. It's just kind of like a kickstarting list that I have for myself. And that usually helps me kind of jump back into it. It helps me stay motivated, not get bored. There's like a yoga one. There's a Zumba one. Actually, there's a couple new ones that I just started using. So yeah, if you guys go in our highlights, you'll see that on there. But yeah, I'm just trying to get back into it. How are you doing, Maddie?
Really good. This week was kind of pretty, I'd say, boring week. Didn't do much. Update, my cat now likes to climb my curtains. It's very depressing. So I went and bought little $10 curtains from Target that were in like the clearance section. And that night she climbed up them, and these are blackout curtains. There are now holes in them, and you can see light through them. So
I'm sorry, that's kind of funny.
So now there's like little claw holes in it. So
yeah, kittens are a trip. I remember Lisa used to do that. She used to like climbing up our legs. Remember that, Justin?
She climb up our legs. She would climb up to the top and try to kill the mosquito hawks.
Yeah, I remember Lisa just being absolutely wild when she was a kid. She used to kind of like Una?
Yeah, Una.
Sorry, I always want to call her Luna.
It's okay. It's common.
Yeah, she used to want to always, we would play with allow her to bite our hands, and then that kind of went off the rails.
That was a mistake. Should have never let her do that. I would literally get a bunch of socks, put them all over my hand, and wrestle with her. Mm-hmm. And eventually, she would just do kill bites, and it hurt so bad.
Oh, she would grab
she would grab like she wanted to murder my hands.
Kick with her hind legs.
Yes, and then if you didn't have a long
enough
if you didn't have a long enough sock on your arm, you get cut up all on the bottom of your forearm. It was horrible.
Una does that. She 100% does that, but I tell her no. But when I tell her no, she gets into like this position, like I'm still gonna murder you. If I like wave my finger and I'm like,
does she do the arch?
She does an arch, yeah.
And then the sidewalk, like
hop. Tail all fluffy. Yeah, that's her. And she gets so mad at me. Mm-hmm. And if I tell her no, though, she literally just like anaconda squeeze my arm.
That's funny.
No, and then she'll do that kicking thing. She'll do that kicking thing you guys were saying, like with the back legs, while she's like squeezing my arm, and I literally have to like throw her off my arm, but like I do it on the bed so she doesn't get hurt. So like I have to go like really hard just to get her off, and then she looks at me like I'm gonna go back at your arm again.
Yeah, no, they're resilient.
Yeah, Lisa used to do the thing where she would come up to us like this after, and then she would get all crazy, and then just leap at your arm. And she would just look so angry, and her ears would be back, and then she would just like leap again, and then like do her little chuff growl thing. It was cute.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys ever? Oh, sorry.
Thing.
She does that.
Did she do
with
that?
The laser pointer? She hates the laser pointer. She would murder the laser pointer. And she puts her ears go down, and her eyes dilate when she sees the laser pointer.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my crazy cat.
Fun times.
Anyways, Justin, do you have an update? Anything cool happened for you this week?
No, it was a pretty. I got Monday off, which was nice. So it was a shortened week, but it felt pretty long. Just grinding through my student teaching stuff. It's pretty fun. It's just challenging at times, but it seems like it's going to be rewarding. I just got to get more comfortable with it and feel more confident in myself and get better at doing my overall lesson plans. But it's only going to get better with time. So just gotta keep doing what I got to do.
I still think you should go by Mr. J.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Mr. J is literally the Joker. Like literally Harley Quinn says, Mr. J. Like she does that. Okay. So I'm not Mr. J. If they like me, I'm sure they're gonna say Mr. M. Apparently that's a thing I learned recently, is that if they call you your entire name, kids don't really like you. If they call you Mr. M, they're cool with you. So
it's like they're giving you a nickname. So
once I reach that level of Mr. M, not just Mr. Like right now, so they don't know my name and they forget, even though it's right on the board. So I'm like, just say M. Like, give me an initial, even. Like, I'm a person. Like, you don't.
They're like, hey,
like literally, this girl in class always wants to go to the bathroom. She's like, hey, Mister, can I go use the restroom? And I'm like, sure. Sure. Is the pass there? No, the pass is not there. So wait till the next person comes.
Wait, do you actually say it like that, or do you give them attitude?
No, I'm pretty nice about it. I'm like, no, you can go. Just have to wait till the pass is available. That's pretty much the tone I talk with them at.
So you talk like an adult. That's so creepy. I'm not used to you talking like that.
I am an adult.
So this week we are going to be talking about MA the A-hole stories that deal with from the time you get proposed to before you get married. So different situations in between that.
Yeah, and I'm reading this week. I have your first story. You guys ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right. So this one's titled, Am I the a-hole for not liking my proposal? My 29 female fiance, 32 male, recently proposed to me about 2 weeks ago. We've been together for about 3 years. I always told him that I wanted just the two of us there when he proposed, simply because I don't like the attention on me in public settings. On the day he proposed, he had multiple friends there, some of which I never even met, and I was pretty upset about it. Yes, I love him, but he disregarded my wishes, and I really didn't get to enjoy the moment as I always imagined. When I brought it up after the fact as to why he didn't have just us there, he said that he always wanted his closest friends and family there to share the moment, and he was upset with me and said it was his moment too. However, I said when we spoke before, he never once said anything about it and said that I never asked what he wanted for the proposal. It got heated regarding who was present. I honestly felt like it was unfair to change what I always told him I would like to what he wanted, especially since he knew I am more introverted and prefer not being the center of attention. When I said that, he told me I need to grow up and that it's not about me. Am I the a-hole for not liking how you proposed and for being upset about it?
Wow. Yeah. Definitely. You are not the a-hole. I know you thought I was going to say.
I was like, wait, what is?
Justin, what do you think about this?
Well, I don't know. Well, this is what I think. He should have kind of given her a heads up, or he should have made what he wanted very obvious, because obviously he didn't tell her what he wanted, but she made it very explicit what she wanted out of the situation, and she was an introvert and she didn't want to have a bunch of people there. So they should have kind of hashed that out a little bit more. I definitely don't think she's the a-hole. He sounds like he's being a little bit of a diva. He should have considered her more. I think it's in a situation like that, it's more he's doing this for her. He's creating the situation. He's making it memorable for her. It's your job to do that. So you have to make it special for her. It doesn't matter really what you want in this situation. I'm just being honest. I disagree with that. I mean, it's cool that he, wanted to be a little bit more involved and make it special for himself, but he's being selfish, and I don't agree with it.
So like when you proposed to Christy, were you thinking about yourself at all? Like what you had imagined proposing, or was it more like, oh, what would Christy like?
It was what I thought Christy would like. It was what I I considered different things, but I wasn't worried about me. I was worried about how she would respond and how the situation was. And so we weren't around a bunch of people randos. And I kept having to wait because there were so many people around. And I was like, okay, it was just giving me anxiety. I'm like, oh, I don't know these people. I don't like these people. I don't care about these people. I care about her. So I had to wait. And I wanted to go to this gazebo place where we were at. And then of course people were eating lunch at this freaking gazebo. There wasn't that many people there, but they had to be eating lunch at the gazebo. So it was on the road where we were at this garden we were at. But it was nice. And she took a picture of me while I was doing it because she had a camera over on her chest. It was interesting. Didn't expect that.
But you know what I liked about that was that, yeah, you planned this moment for me, but you also put a little bit of yourself into it, right? Because this garden was very special to you. It meant a lot to your family history. And so I knew something was up, right?
You did?
I knew something was up because I was just like, he is really into the art, and you are not usually into art when we go to museums. And so you were just like telling me about this George Washington painting and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, wow, you're like really into this stuff. And we're like looking at the sculptures, and I'm like, oh, really? Like, we're not rushing through this. Okay, cool. But the point that I'm trying to make is that even though this was a moment that he planned for me, he embedded a little bit of himself into it. And I think this is something that OP's boyfriend, now fiance, probably should have done. Instead of turning this into his moment, he could have just like put a little bit of himself into it. Especially the fact that he invited people that she didn't even know.
Yeah, I would have been pissed.
Quote unquote best friends that she's never met. Like, no.
I agree with you guys. I would love to be contra with you guys just to be contra, but I have to agree with you guys. And I have to agree with what we said. She's not the a-hole. He's the a-hole, really.
All right, you guys ready for an edit?
Yes.
All right, OP goes, he also had his parents there and not mine. He also asked me multiple times how I envisioned him proposing, and I always said private with us, and then celebrating with family and friends right after to announce. As a note, I never expected anything big or fancy. I always joked with him and said if we were running down the stairs and we fell and we're laughing and he proposed right there and then, I would always say yes, because all I needed was him. Not once did he say he wouldn't do a private proposal or something with just us. And then there's a second edit. Also, just to add in, he has always treated me well. It's just difficult to navigate this because of our differing opinions and him telling me I was wrong for feeling this way.
I guess my issue is that if he's already not listening to her, what she wants at this point, and not expressing what he wants, what else is he going to do that with later on in life? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like kids, is he going to be like, oh, you know what? I actually don't want kids. Or I don't know. Oh, you want like a house that's 2 stories? No, I only want a 1-story house. Like, I don't know. Just, random things that last minute you're going to let them know. And I don't know. I don't think that's okay.
Yeah, I feel like this is a small thing that could eventually be a big problem.
Definitely.
All right, you guys want to hear the top comment?
Sure.
Okay, top comment, and I think it was chosen by the poster. She writes, you should seriously consider if you really want to marry him. Your communication as a couple seems terrible, and he knowingly disrespected your wishes in an important moment for both of your lives. He should have told you his opinion when you previously discussed this, so you could have come up with a compromise together. So I'm going with not the a-hole.
Yeah, that pretty much summarizes it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. All right, cool. I'm ready to go to the next one if you guys are cool with it.
Yes.
Let's hear the next story.
All right. The title of the story is Am I the a-hole for saying that my son's fiance has an attitude? My son Blake got engaged to his then girlfriend Eve, quote unquote, right after she got pregnant. Me and her, I'd like to say, don't have the best relationship, but I do try to get on the same page as her. But what I've noticed recently is that she just doesn't like me. For example, I offered her and Blake to go see a house I found in the area we live in while they were looking. Blake agreed and was happy with the idea, but Eve didn't. Example 2. When she got pregnant, she returned the nursery and framed photos I bought and kept me out of the name suggestions. Example 3, which took place last night. Blake and Eve were stopping by for dinner. I asked if it was okay that I throw her a baby shower party, and she declined, saying her mom was already on it. I was upset, not gonna lie, and what she said was sort of the straw that broke the camel's back. I waited till she went to the bathroom and out loud told Blake and the family that Eve was being rude and unaccepting of me for no good reason. Blake asked that I calm down and apologized to me, but I told him that it was quite clear his fiance has an attitude and it doesn't work for me. She must have heard because she came back looking red in the face and told Blake she wanted to go home immediately. Blake took her to the car then, got back and started arguing with me at the door, saying Eve just heard what I said and that I messed up royally. I told him to take it easy. I was just stating how I felt about the way she's been treating me, and he said that if Eve has an attitude, then I should say the same about myself for the passive aggressive behavior and overbearing slights every time she's around. I was in dismay. The family got involved and told Blake that he shouldn't speak to me like that and that Eve could stop expecting us to walk on eggshells around her. I left them fighting and took a seat. He eventually left, but called this morning saying this was clearly a misunderstanding and that he wants to bring over Eve so we could talk. I told him she could come after he apologizes for the scene last night. He wasn't happy and claimed that I started this whole drama with my remarks. He went on to lecture me about how I should treat Eve and said that he won't let this keep going when the baby's here. I took it as an offense, and my husband agreed that Blake is being an enabler here. Neither of them called yet after that. My older son wants to speak to Blake one-on-one about it. Whew, this is a really, really new post.
Wow. There's so much in this. It's kind of crazy. So like there's two sides I see. I don't know if you're seeing them too. Yeah. I see the one where Eve, the mother-in-law, is mean or being rude. And then I see the mother-in-laws, and I just don't know who's taking what so seriously or taking it the wrong way. Because I think that they probably both want to like each other, but they just don't both understand each other or something. I could be totally wrong. I don't know. What do you think? Am I wrong?
I think something along the lines of that. Justin's nodding his head. What do you think?
This is an interesting story because the other story was from one perspective, but it seemed like a through line. This, you don't know the situation entirely. You're only getting the mother-in-law's perspective. So for me, I don't know how she's really acting to her. I can't tell. I'm only getting her side. So for all I know, she's being crappy to Eve the entire time, and she's making little slights and stuff like that. It could be a combination of both of them doing it to each other, and it's just being back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then that just kind of broke there was a straw that broke the camel's back. So it's a little difficult to tell. Obviously, if you're just taking her perspective into account, then it's very obvious that Eve is being crappy to her. But it's the kind of story where I think there's two sides to it, and it's probably somewhere in the middle.
Yes, you literally just said so elegantly what I was trying to say. So.
Yeah, I feel like this is a hard one because it seems like the mother has some kind of a preconceived notions about their whole relationship. She mentions that he proposed to her right after she got pregnant. So maybe there's a little bit of contention there where she's, not happy. Like maybe she feels like they're rushing into it kind of thing. I noticed that she did also mention that Eve didn't like the framed photos in the nursery and returned them. And so I wonder, is that something that could have a second side? Could that have is there a reasonable explanation for that? Or was she just like, oh, that's not the ones that I wanted? Or is there really an issue that she has with the mom? I wonder what's going on, but for the same reasons, right? We don't know. Yeah. We only see one side.
But the thing is, okay, I feel like the nursery is very much like the mom wants to decorate it the way she wants to decorate it. I don't think that the mother-in-law should be trying to, I get it, it's just something sweet to do, but I think that for something like that, you have to get permission from her. Do you know what I mean? Hey, I want to do this. I think this would look nice, but I'm not sure what your aesthetic is. Would this work? Do you have another idea? Do you know what I mean? But I think just giving her something might not have been the right thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understood that as there was a what is it called? A registry, and that she bought it off the registry. I don't know why, but she didn't say that, but that's how I took it. That's
Oh,
what I
okay.
just assumed, I guess.
I don't know. I took it the other way that she just like bought it for her. Because, like, for example, I gave my niece, your daughter, a picture for her room, but I asked you about it first. I was like, hey, is this going to actually match? I don't want to give you something if it's not going to work. And you said it would be fine. But I feel like that's what you have to do because, like, rooms are such like a personal thing. Do you know what I mean? At least that's how I feel.
Yeah. I think what was it, the baby shower? Eve's mom wanted to plan it. And so I think that may be a situation where she could have involved the mother-in-law. That would have been a really nice chance for them to bond if they have been having this contentious relationship. But she's not obligated to do that. And so that's where I feel like I'm a little confused on this one. I really don't know. I do think it wasn't right for the mom for the original poster to in front of the whole family say that. She should have had a private conversation with Blake and not been like in front of relatives and like we all don't like, because she was kind of setting up a situation for everybody to defend her. It seems like she didn't want to bring it up to Blake in a private setting because maybe she was worried that she wouldn't have the support or the backup that she would have if she says it in front of everybody.
Yeah, I definitely think that was really not cool of her to bring the whole family into it because that's not fair. Because like if something like that happened, of course you're gonna back up your mom, right? Like the rest of the family. So that's really not cool.
Yeah.
And that's just even gonna make it worse for this person to feel part of your family if everyone's like taking her side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I want to see what other people wrote about this one. Yeah, let's see. So, what is the top comment on this? What? Okay, really? Of course you're the a-hole. Your son's fiance doesn't have an attitude. You do. She wants to decorate her own nursery. She wants to find her own home, and her mother is planning a shower. Your son and his fiance want to name their own child. They don't need your input. Perhaps if you were less intrusive and meddlesome, your relationship with Eve would improve.
I feel like this person feels a certain way, maybe because of their own experiences. It seems seems like they're projecting a little bit.
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel based on that comment.
Okay, here's another one. Also, want to add that it is your responsibility to welcome her into the family. And this isn't how you do it. You're the a-hole. Apologize, beg for forgiveness, ask her what she needs, stop with the demands. You're in no position to make any. She is the mother of your future grandchild.
I agree.
Maybe the mom is doing something to make this relationship the way it is, because it's just not going to be like that just because of one person. I don't think it would be like that. I don't think the son would tolerate her being mean to her mom constantly. That doesn't make any sense. So the mom has to be doing something also, because I think even though, her son is defending Eve at every turn, maybe there's a reason for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. So overall, do we agree that this person's the a-hole, or are we like not? We're kind of like in the middle. Like, how do we feel?
Based on the information we have right now, you would have to lean towards, probably, at least my opinion, that she probably is being a little bit of the a-hole, with an asterisk saying maybe not quite the a-hole.
So we land somewhere in the middle.
I don't think we've had one like this. It's always been like a yes or a no.
Honestly, I think it helped me to read these comments because I'm leaning more toward that she's overstepping. And there was one comment that actually stuck out to me that said, OP asked if she could throw the shower, then threw a fit instead when told someone else was already doing it. So she wasn't really asking, was she?
Oh, I didn't think of it like that, but yeah.
But yeah, totally.
I do understand though the mom like keeping on trying, and being told no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Like I get like that frustration, but like I feel like sometimes rather than trying to like get someone's approval, you have to back off to be able to like, let them come to you instead. You know
Agreed.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like she's just been trying and trying and trying. Now she just needs to back off.
Yeah.
Which she unfortunately didn't do.
I think a long conversation needs to be had between her and Eve. And I think she needs to come to this with like a understanding heart and just be like, you know what? She wasn't trying to hurt my feelings. This is her baby. This is her journey. And I would love to be a part of it. But if she has specific plans, then I just kind of got to back off and not make demands.
I agree. So I guess we all agree then. She's the asshole, right?
I think,
Or she's the a-hole.
yeah, that's where I'm leaning right now.
Agreed. All right. Christy, let's move on to the next one. I think
Let's move on. Okay. Next one is, would I be the a-hole if I don't attend my daughter's wedding? My male 48 wife, Samantha, female 43, and I adopted our daughter, Cassandra, female 22, when she was 4 months old. Her bio mom, female 38, was a junkie who wanted to get an abortion before her parents got involved and made her keep it. We provided Cassandra with a nice life in a well-off town, and she even attended a private school. After me and Samantha divorced due to me meeting my new wife, Ashley, female 35, almost 10 years ago, Cassandra went through a bit of a rebellious phase that continued until she was about 16. I feared that she was going to end up like her birth mom, but between the divorce and welcoming a new child, my hands were tied. So I sent her to live with her grandparents. What I didn't know is that her bio mom lived in the same town as my former in-laws, and somehow Cassandra and her got in touch. They became close, and Cassandra even skipped Ashley's birthday one year to go on vacation with her bio mom. I hated how close they got, especially knowing the bio mom's past. So I moved Cassandra back in with us, but she moved right after graduation. My ex doesn't mind the relationship since the bio mom isn't trying to replace her, but it's pretty close. Now on to the conflict. Cassandra is getting married to Aiden, male 34, and I'm supposed to pay for the entire thing, which I have no problem doing. However, when I found out that her bio mom was going to be a maid of honor after my ex declined, I lost it. She literally gave her up and wanted her to abort her, and now she's acting like they're best friends. My wife has been an amazing mother figure to Cassandra, and the fact that she's choosing some random addict over her is disgusting. I'm not going to not pay for the wedding. I love my daughter, and I want her to be happy, but I decided to not attend the wedding as it pains me and my wife to see her bio mom taking my wife's place as a second mother figure. My son, male 20, tells me I'm being horrible. Am I the a-hole?
I think he is the a-hole.
Yes, I think he is. What do you think? Justin's nodding his head.
I don't think he's being the a-hole.
Really? What? Okay, here, let me say why I think he is. Okay, I think it's awesome that she's gotten in touch with her mom. I'm hoping her biological mom. I'm hoping that her biological mom has recovered and is doing a lot better. And it's important to have that relationship, for the both of them. Yes, her bio mom made mistakes, but I think everybody is allowed to come back from their mistakes. And I think it's interesting that he is, okay, if I'm understanding correctly, so him and Ashley is his new wife, right?
Yes.
So he's considering her Cassandra's mom.
Yeah, which I find to be crazy.
Was like 12. So for me, it's interesting that he is considering Ashley, his new wife, Cassandra's quote unquote real mom, even though she was there from the time that she was 12 to 22 when his divorced wife, Samantha, was there from the time that she was born. And so she's had a lot of figures in her life. And so for him to then choose who gets to be the most important figure, I don't think that's right.
Well, I think that the mom, Samantha, declined, right, to be the maid of honor. So then she chose her biological mother.
Right.
So, I think that he's just mad because he wants the Ashley to be more important. But that's not how it is. And I would never be close. Well, I don't think I would be close if my biological father had, a wife, a second wife, and I was 12 years old. Do you know what I mean? I don't see that happening because, I've already have my mom. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that he's a jerk. Honestly, I really don't like the dad.
Personally. Yeah, me neither.
I just don't think that it's realistic at all.
Okay, so Justin, you absolutely disagree, it seems like.
So after hearing you guys talk about it, I'm a little more on the fence now. I didn't think about the fact, okay, this is the situation I'm in. Was the mom, she's a drug addict, right? That's what it said.
Mhm.
So was she even there for the first 12 years? They don't even specify that.
No.
Was she involved in her daughter's life, or was she just a drug addict the entire time? And then when she was 12, her stepmom took over and was more of a mom to her than her actual mom. And then when her mom finally decided to clean herself up, then decided to be a mom again. So who was really there for her during the hard times, and who was more her mom during the times she needed a mom, not just when she was an adult?
That's a good question. You bring up the fact that he actually mentions they sent her away to live with her grandparents for a while because she was having a rebellious phase from the time she was 12 to 16. Literally, the minute he married this new person, she went and lived with her grandparents until she was 16. So Ashley's not it.
Yeah. If anything, the grandma would be more of a mother.
She probably helped her get through. Yeah. What do you say?
So I actually am leaning more towards what you guys are talking about. I didn't realize that the daughter, I didn't get that part, but now that I understand that she wasn't there, then the stepmom has no, I don't know. I think the dad, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, feels entitled because he's paying for it and because he probably took care of her forever. So being that he was like the one paying for everything and taking care of her most of her life, he feels entitled to be able to say that. And he doesn't like that. Maybe the mom has turned a leaf and maybe she's a great person now. And maybe the daughter's been able to bond with her and that's her mom. So she's going to bond with her more than she's going to bond with the other lady. I think if her and the other lady have a good relationship, then it would have been nice for her to extend an olive branch. I mean, she did. She asked her if she wanted to be one of the maids. Didn't she offer her some kind of spot?
She offered her her adoptive mother.
Yeah.
To what?
His divorced wife to be a bridesmaid. Oh, the maid of honor.
I thought it was maid of honor.
But
Yeah, I think you're right.
He didn't offer her anything.
She didn't offer his new wife.
Well, yeah.
So Samantha declined, and then she offered her biological.
So now that I've understand the entire story, I'm actually leaning towards you guys. I think he is being the a-hole. You are correct.
We already knew we were correct.
Yeah, but you guys needed me to.
You turned the corner.
To tell you guys that you were right. So you guys were right, and yeah, he's being the a-hole. The lady has no brain. I mean, it's different. If she would have been like, from 12 to 16 would have been like really there in her life and stuff like that, then she would have been more important. And plus, it's the daughter's decision at the end of the day, because guess what? It's hers. So these are the people who are most impactful in her life. It may hurt his feelings that his wife doesn't, get to be that person, but he shouldn't have sent her away when it got hard. And he sounds like he did. He shipped her to the grandma when things got hard. So if she would have grinded it out with her and with him, and they would have been together and they would have gone through that together, maybe it would have had a stronger relationship, but he decided to ship her away.
It sounds like they have no relationship.
Yeah. And the thing is, if he hadn't sent her away, she would have never gotten in contact with her biological mom.
Yeah.
So then maybe, they would have had a better relationship. So it's kind of his fault.
I think totally. You guys want to hear the most upvoted comment? At 38, you went after a 25-year-old and broke up your family. Gee, I wonder why your daughter respects a woman who made the best out of a difficult situation and changed her life for the better, but not you. It's a real mystery. You're the a-hole.
I upvote that.
Totally, me too. Also, the way that he mentions the fact that he remarried, there's a comment that highlights that. For me, it literally, he just skated right by it. It says, "Divorce due to me meeting my new wife," is how he wrote it.
Yeah. Ugh, just so annoying. But to me, this guy sounds like an a-hole in life. So I just already don't like him and like everything he said. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It sounds like he either cheated on his wife or he wanted to and just divorced her to be with this other younger woman, which is not. I wouldn't want to actually even have him at my wedding. I would be like, thank you. You're going to pay for my wedding and I don't have to have you there. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm just a jerk.
I don't know. I wouldn't feel bad about it. He's definitely, I didn't do the math until now. So he was literally with his wife for about 20 years or so. Right?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that 12 years if she was 12? Maybe?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did the math wrong again.
I was just thinking that. I'm assuming okay.
So, they adopted
12
her.
plus years, I guess, because we don't know how long they were together before.
Exactly. That's true.
But yeah, okay. So for sure, he is the a-hole.
All agreed. All right. We're going to.
Yes, I agree.
Say it. You were right.
Yeah, say sorry, I'm wrong.
Continue on to the next story.
Okay. Next story, and actually the last one for today. Am I the a-hole for not letting my sister-in-law wear my wedding dress? All right, y'all. My 28 female husband, 30 male, we've been married for almost 6 years now. At the time of our engagement, neither of us had much money, so there was no way I could have afforded the wedding dress that I wanted to wear. Thankfully for me, my mother is something of a seamstress and offered to help me make my dream dress. We spent over a year finding the pattern, picking the fabrics, and making my beautiful wedding dress completely from scratch. It's the first big project I've ever sewn, so I'm quite proud of it. Making it also brought me much closer to my mother, as the whole project was sort of a bonding experience. It also holds a lot of additional sentimental value as my dad passed away while we were making it. So I sewed a heart-shaped cutout of one of his shirts on into the lining of the dress in order to keep him with me on my big day. That's so sad.
That's
beautiful.
Yeah.
This dress not only brought me closer to my husband, but my family too. It means so much to me. My sister-in-law, female 23, just got engaged recently and is in a similar situation with her wedding. She just got out of college and started work as a teacher. Between her loans and a relatively low salary, she doesn't have very much money to pay for her wedding. Dress shopping has been a bit stressful for her, as all the dresses that fit her taste are just so far out of her budget. This all leads up to Tuesday morning when she called up my husband and asked if I would be willing to let her borrow my dress. She mentioned that it could be her something borrowed. My husband says that he would have to ask me first because it wasn't his to loan out. His sister told him that it wouldn't be a problem and I'd barely miss it as it was just sitting in a box anyway. He still said he would have to ask me and forgot about it. He finished his workday and picked me up from my job, and when we came home, his little sister was trying on my wedding dress and his mom was clipping it in the back to fit her better. Seeing somebody else in my dress totally blindsided me. I was stunned and asked what they were doing, and my mother-in-law said they were planning alterations since sister-in-law is significantly smaller than me. I told them that there's no way I would be loaning my dress out to anyone. It not only represents my love to my husband, but the bond with some of my family as well. This escalated into an argument that ended in my mother-in-law calling me a selfish bee and leaving with sister-in-law. My husband thankfully grabbed the dress during the argument, so they didn't grab it when they left. I was really upset, but I thought about it after I had some time to calm down. I don't have any uses for my dress, and I do love my sister-in-law. I feel as if I maybe overreacted and shut them down too quickly. Am I the a-hole?
No, not at all.
There's an edit, just really quickly.
Okay.
By clipping, she means using binder clips to secure excess fabric, not actually cutting the dress. So, because that's what I thought.
Oh, you did? I thought of clipping, like
Okay.
with little clips. Because when you try on a wedding dress, they have clips.
Yeah.
I thought. Okay. I do not think she overreacted at all. Like, I get it. Some people don't care about their wedding dresses. They don't care. They're like, yeah, whatever. You know, they have they do little photo shoots, you know, ruining their wedding dress or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this dress obviously is very sentimental. Do you know what I mean? And that is absolutely crazy that they would even think that they should be able to come over there and do that. That's absolutely crazy to me.
Who does that?
Yeah, they're crazy. That's completely rude. She should have waited. They could have just bugged him until he responded. I mean, I get it. Sometimes us guys are absent-minded. Sometimes my mom will mention something to me and tell me to tell Christy, and then I forget to tell her, and then we're supposed to go do something or go somewhere, and it's like 2 weeks later, and I'm telling her the day of, and I forget that I didn't tell her about it. And that kind of stuff happens. Totally, 100%. But you can't just show up and try on people's stuff. The hell's wrong with these people? Like, you can't do that. You just can't do it. It's not right. And I'm sure, honestly, she seems like a nice person. I think had they asked her, she probably would have said okay. I don't think she would have, but you can't just show up and try somebody's stuff on like that and then be a jerk about it. What are you doing with yourself? Jeez.
I just want to point out, Christy, when you were reading this, Justin and I were looking at each other and we had like the biggest shocked faces when you read that. I could not believe that was even something that could happen. Like first off, you went to your brother's house, you know, their home without their permission. you're going through their closet or whatever. Like, that's just weird. This whole story gets bad vibes.
Yeah, they went completely overboard. They should have never done that. They overstepped so many boundaries. Like this is absolutely horrible.
It reminds me of my mom's favorite movie, Ever After. When she's when
Yes.
you know, after the okay, what happens? Okay, they're gonna go, and Cinderella, Drew Barrymore is gonna go to the thing. Her mom has a gorgeous, beautiful dress, and then her evil, wicked sister, who I hate in that movie, is trying on her dress, and the mom is there helping her try it on. Do you remember? That's exactly the same scene.
It's literally a scene from
100%.
Ever After. Totally. And that it made me just as angry then as it's making me now. Like, who does that? And then they make her feel bad about it. Like,
They
you're being
gaslight her
selfish.
for that too. All these stories have gaslight things.
It's the same story.
So, top comment, not the a-hole. What the F? I might see their point of view in asking if you and she were the exact same size, but expecting to make alterations? Heck no. You might want to make arrangements for that to be secured until after the wedding. Totally. What?
There's an edit.
Oh, there's an edit. I just checked with my wife, who does this professionally. Alterations to wedding dress would have to be permanent. You could not make temporary alterations for someone significantly smaller and have it fit right for them. Well, yeah, that's true.
I totally think that this person, they seem like a nice enough person that, yeah, I would have probably been totally fine. But like, they didn't ask, and now it's ruined, and she's not going to want to do it. Like, there's going to be this whole bad vibe over this dress. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just can't even imagine. Like, I would never do that to you, Christy. I would never do that. That's so not cool. So I can't imagine that these people thought that was okay. Absolutely crazy.
All right, I'll read another comment. It says, this OP, these people overstepped and already showed you that they see your dress as theirs. What's more, I'm sure they won't give it back after because it doesn't fit you anymore anyway, and it has emotional significance, quote unquote. Your husband needs to handle this whole situation and tell them there is zero chance she can wear your dress and to drop it, that it should not be brought up again. And then OP responds, my husband said the same thing. He's talking about taking it down to my mother's house when we visit next week. That's good. I love that he's on her side.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I get that that's his sister, but in this situation, you have to have your wife's back, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just crazy.
I think what Justin said is so right. She seems like such a good-hearted person. I feel like if they had asked her, she probably would have been willing to.
She reminds me of you, Christy, actually. You're so
Don't
sweet.
say that.
No, you're so sweet. You totally would.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in my eyes, it's like it would have added another layer of significance, you know. But I don't know. It's pretty messed up.
All right, so how do we feel? So for sure, she's not the a-hole,
For
right?
sure, she's not the a-hole.
100%.
Yeah, she's definitely not the a-hole. I'm sure she would have let them borrow it because she's never going to wear it again. She just cared about keeping the dress, the sentimental value. I think Christy's right. It would have added something to it. It would have made the dress live on and be able to be used again. And that's a beautiful thing, giving it more significance, being able to be used again. Wedding dresses are never used again. So that would have been cool. But you can't just show up and be a sheesh crazy person and just show up to somebody's house and do that. It's just not right. It's crazy. I would kick the person out of my house.
You kicked me out, right?
I would kick you out. I would kick everybody out. I'd be like, get out. I throw stuff at people. I'm not playing.
That's right,
You
Justin.
throw Ollie at me?
No, I love my cat. I'm not throwing him at you. I throw like a shoe at you or something.
Well, I'm glad you agree with us on this one because yeah, I feel like this was pretty clear.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, so that's all the stories we have this week. Thank you so much, Justin, for joining us. You've been a peach.
You're welcome.
Yeah, if you guys enjoyed Justin and just all of his movie knowledge, he actually has his own channel. It's called Mighty Nerd Bros, and him and his brother, they talk about pop culture topics and they review movies and shows and all these nerdy things, video games, TV, all this stuff. So if you guys want to check him out, Mighty Nerd Bros on YouTube, it'll be linked down below in the description. And if you guys like this episode, please be sure to follow our channels on Spotify and iTunes. Please rate if you enjoy what you're hearing. And if you know anybody that would be interested in the stuff that we talk about, please be sure to share. Next week we are bringing you some more stories and some more updates. So please stay tuned. So thanks for joining us today.
Bye.
Thanks for having me, guys. She needs some coffee.